it wouldn't be the weekly recap with Arcane Adventures without talking about some robots, like we mentioned. So one of the most interesting stories this week. Chinese robots, because we always talk about China and their affliction with robots. And this week, XPeng, one of the largest overseas Chinese automotive builders, they released an internal memo from the CEO talking about 2026 and beyond and what they're going to be focused on. And the major story here was pivoting and building more robots, more flying cars, all entering mass production. So they talked a little bit about like what one of our narratives for this year is going to be embodied AI. So physical AI and globalization must be fully penetrated. And the memo offered a clear outlook to an automaker built on smart technology. So more of those chips that we're talking about, everything's going to be smart. Everything's going to have a computer built into it. In the memo, he also called for the company an embodied intelligence company. And we're seeing this pivot of automotive makers and car makers pivoting and saying, we don't build cars anymore. We build like gear, we build robots, we build flying cars, we build robo-taxis. All of those will be entering mass production in 2026. So China is obviously gunning for this market, aiming to compete with some American companies, most notably Tesla, which is also building robots. And not a huge surprise. Like China seems like they're killing it in the robot space right now, especially with humanoid robots, flying cars, robo-taxis, anything that can help aid us in our day-to-day lives or in the workplace.
I'm excited for flying cars finally. It's been like 20 years since we were promised flying cars. So I think, this is a nice, it's a shift in the right direction. I don't think that the world is ready for flying cars. But more importantly, if we're talking about like the investor perspective, like how can I gain exposure to this big, I don't want to say trend, let's say it's an evolution of culture and society. It's pretty obvious that automation and robotics is panning out to be the logical future. And so it's important to understand all of the different industries that are going to affect that. There are so many different companies that are going to be auxiliary to this evolution within transportation. So I know you and I are invested in a couple, like, for example, LiDAR companies and like global positioning system companies, things like that. So yeah, this is a very exciting time with China kind of testing the market on the flying cars front. But again, this is just one instance of China really being the front runner on the embodied AI and robotics game. And it'll be interesting to see what happens in the future with this story and similar ones, even just next week.
Yeah, and I know the more I was reading about it, the more fascinating it was. And I don't know actually how it works in China. Like if people are able to invest in these type of companies, like I don't know if I think this is a publicly traded company, but one of the things they mentioned was they were calling their flying car the land aircraft carrier, which has a kind of, interesting name, but they're already rolling them off the production line for trial demos, and they're already targeting deliveries for this year. So I can't imagine who's able to pilot these things and, what you have to do, what hoops you have to jump through, or maybe you just have to be rich. But you're absolutely right. Like, I don't know if we're prepared for flying cars yet, but they've actually pivoted and created a whole dedicated flying car factory that can put out thousands of units per year. So I'm going to be following this closely. We're probably going to be mentioning it throughout the year as soon as there's any updates from there. And, on another note, we just mentioned Tesla. So again, talking about robots and car makers, Tesla is completely pivoting and they are changing their Fremont factory completely to robot production. So they're going to put out 1 million Optimus robots a year. And, this is in line with what Musk has been saying. I think everybody is overvalued Tesla as a car company, as an automotive maker. But I think this is a definitive statement saying, we're more than that. We're not just a car company. We're building robo-taxis. We're building robots now. We're very clearly doing more than just building electric vehicles, which they need to justify the valuation and to be competitive. But the long-term target, 1 million Optimus units per year, once the factory is fully converted And the Optimus Gen 3, the first true mass-produced ready version, has its design already locked, and it will be unveiled in the next few months with human-level performance expected by the end of the year. Elon also just revealed the Optimus Academy, a massive simulation in real-world self-play training system, so thousands of robots can learn tasks simultaneously at hyperspeed. So that's very interesting. Yeah, I don't know who's going to win this robotics arms race, but everybody seems to be getting in on it.
Oof, it reminds me of like the Star Wars clone army. I mean, it's funny, and maybe it comes at some interesting timing as well, considering that there have been recent reports about Tesla losing a significant amount. I'm sorry, of EV market share to China. But this, I believe, was in the plans for a long time since they had revealed sort of like consumer-facing hardware around Optimus robots. So still, I don't know how they plan on rolling these out to consumers and under what use cases. This might be like a hobbyist thing to start. But again, going back to the theme of robotics, I don't think humanoid robots are not going to have a place in, let's say, future of manufacturing or just like household assistance and support. So yeah, I think this is going to be a fun one to watch, and I'm kind of excited to like interact with, or for my first interaction with an Optimus Gen 1 or Gen 3 robot.
Yeah, I think caretakers or household humanoid robots might be a thing in the next few years, earlier than we might have expected. But like, I would be happy with like a simple robot that can help feed my cats when I'm away for a few days. Like that'd be enough for me.
Yeah, just play with the cats. You could like tape like some sort of like paper print out of your face on it. Good, perfect.
Yeah, somebody
continuing
build that.
on, continuing on with this consumer hardware theme. Samsung recently hosted their Samsung Unpacked 2026 event, where they debuted their new Galaxy S26 flagship smartphone series. So this new generation of smartphones potentially ushers in their new AI first philosophy, at least what they're referring to as a proactive AI that's more fully integrated into applications and features within their hardware. So this highlights a growing trend towards embodied AI through smartphones and wearable technology. They also featured their new Galaxy Buds 4, which they refer to as a personalized audio assistant, which uses AI for active noise canceling and improved speech recognition for translation features. So I think this is really exciting. Samsung's kind of been, and many people might think of Apple as the true like innovator within the mobile phone space. That's been true for a while, but Samsung is really the company that seems to roll out very interesting, innovative features quietly. So I like that they're kind of highlighting more of this AI integration. It is definitely a nod to what many of these hardware manufacturers are trying to achieve with edge device standalone AI models. And I'm curious to see what this new Galaxy S22 really does on the AI front. I haven't dived too deep into it. I haven't seen like MKBHD's review, but it'll be very interesting because I'm actually in the market for a new smartphone after my S22 battery is just like awful right now. So we'll see how that goes.
Samsung, send this guy a free phone and we'll show you. Just kidding.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah, I mean, I think this is the time of year when all these events start to happen. I think Apple's is next week as well. But I'm out of the loop with smartphones. Surprisingly, as a tech investor, I don't even know what kind of phone I have. I know it's a Samsung, but yeah, it is exciting, and it's not a surprise either that the AI first philosophy, like, quite prevalent for every company right now. Like, just take a look at that NVIDIA earnings report and that valuation. Everybody should be AI first right now. So if you're not, I think you're kind of a relic of days past, and you might not be around much longer if you're not adapting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
Well, that's all we got for this week. Thanks so much for sticking with us through this weekly recap. Friends and family, to Arcanum Ventures. We covered all of the biggest stories within the worlds of technology, hardware, AI, financial markets, blockchain, and more. Until next week, stay safe out there and keep your eye on NVIDIA.
Ciao, everybody.
Ciao, y'all.